everybody, and I'm Carly McGrath.
I'm Hannah Butler. I'm Ana Paula Ibanez.
I'm Anton Maradona.
We're from the American School of Guadalajara, and we're 7th graders. Today, Hannah and Tamara will be our guest speakers, and thank you for coming, guys, and helping us out. Okay. So first of all, before we start, I just want to talk a little bit about my project, since during the presentation we're not going to talk too much about my project, but rather how we got to the final planning, because we haven't finished our project, but we'll finish by June. So basically, I was running, and I run at a sports facility that's owned by the government. And of course, everybody just throws trash on top of nature and plants and everything, and it's all like after events. They have huge events there, and they just throw whatever they have left on there. And I found it really sad because it was teaching kids that it was okay to litter, and it was okay to not really care about the small little areas. I mean, it's a pretty small space of just nature, but it's still something, and we live in an urban area, and it's important to protect what we already have. So I decided to go talk with a group of friends. I decided to go talk to the person working at the sports facility who was in charge, and we got him to clean up the trash. And then our next step was to bring back the biodiversity that was lost. So after the trash was cleared, we started planting a native garden so we could teach kids how why native gardens were more beneficial than just normal gardens, and they also conserve water. So right now we're in the process of planning and raising money to build the garden boxes. So right now we're just going to present to you how we got to the final planning part.
So the first thing that we probably need to know is social action. And social action means taking steps to fix what's wrong with our society today and take steps to make everything better for the future. To achieve social action, you first need a global issue to focus on. And in the Good project, we focused on the ecosystem and biodiversity loss. So this can affect humans, plants, and animals. And when this issue has a large impact, it could be life-changing. Therefore, in this project we're trying to reduce in a small scale this loss so that we can promote a healthy ecosystem and a healthy city and start a rippling effect to other students so that we can engage them to also stop this issue.
We're going to take a short break from our presentation to do brainstorm. On your desk, you'll find sticky notes. And around the room, you'll see we have 20 posters representing the 20 global issues. So in each sticky note, you'll write problems or ideas for projects related to the global issues. When you have your sticky notes ready, go to the poster that they belong to and paste them.
So we'll give you about like 5 to 10 minutes, and basically the idea is for later after the presentation we're going to have another activity, and you need many ideas for the activity. So as you can see, we've also put some ideas on each one. Just an idea, and not on all of them, but an idea for a project or a problem that we see. We have markers. Do people need pens?
Yes. I feel like with yellow it's like, okay. Yeah, thank you. Hey Carly, could you repeat what you'd like us to do?
Oh, yeah. We're learning to problems or issues related to the topic.
So for example, in water deficits, we put there's no law to protect cenotes in Mexico, because that's something that we found out through the internet, and we really care about that issue. And if we were going to choose this global issue to do our next project about, it would be this issue. So it's basically something that you're passionate about. Yeah, like you would like to fix.
Thank you. Just
here.
So we have to place an idea right here.
Yeah. Idea or a problem that you need.
Yeah, problems related to
Biodiversity.
the global
any
look around
global
the
issue.
room and all the posters, they have like a title. So in response to that, you can write what kind of problems there are related to.
Oh, okay.
Which table's gonna get the most sticky?
Wait, are we supposed to put,
Yeah.
supposed to put them on the board?
Yeah, put them on the poster where it belongs.
How many time we have to finish this?
You have like 5. You don't have to do all of them, just do what you can.
Oh, this one.
Standing up. Where am I going?
So is everybody done? We have to
No.
Oh, wait.
give you guys a couple minutes.
Oh, wait, who's done? Raise your hand. We'll continue. Couple more seconds. Nick, there you go. Yeah? Okay.
So for our project, we chose the social change tool to organize our ideas. These tools have 4 legs, and you need to, the 4 legs helps you achieve the success in your project. The 4 legs are philanthropy, advocacy, direct service, and community organizing.
So, like, if we took that stool and we just cut off one leg, what would happen to it?
The chair would fall.
Yeah, the chair would fall. So basically, it's the same idea. Without any of these 4 legs, social change wouldn't be possible, and social change is our goal. And these 4 make up social action.
Now we'll look now we'll look each word specifically.
Yeah, we'll explain what the words actually mean.
Well, philanthropy is the most commonly the first step in each project. Helps you is related to the money. It's the fundraising part. It's when you go through for adoptions and donations. In our project, we sold bracelets. We had bake sales. We had raffles, plant adoption. So that's how we got money. We did not start with philanthropy in our project, but we really did. So right now we want to make a native garden cole, so we don't have enough money.
So what are some other ideas that you can just think of on the top of your head of how to raise money? There's many different ways. Yeah?
You can have a bake sale, you can sell t-shirts, and at the same time you sell t-shirts, you can write your project, plasmar, to write on those t-shirts to gain
Max, you raised your hand. Anybody else? Any ideas that we could use for fundraising? Yeah?
Garage sales.
Garage sales. Yeah.
Selling things.
One that I heard from other groups here at this event, this conference, is contacting socially responsible companies
And getting
asking
donations,
their
right?
sponsorship.
Okay. So this is a poster that we sent out with the colors available for
the
our
bracelets.
bracelets. And we still need a lot more money to raise, and we'll probably use some of your ideas to do so. The next step in your project is advocacy, and advocacy is basically, now that you've raised money, you need to raise awareness about your project. A lot of time advocacy comes hand in hand with another step of the stool. For example, in fundraising, when you go door to door and you ask for money, you also have to explain the cause. But that shouldn't really be considered as advocacy, because the purpose of giving information out is not to raise awareness, it's more to gain money. So this one's just basically just promoting your cause through social media, websites, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of those things. And that's only for your followers. Those social media are only for like your followers to understand and for your friends and family. But what about the more general public? Well, you can organize meetings, you can send out more broad emails, you can do speeches, you can make videos on YouTube and share them to the whole world. There's many different ways to raise awareness about your project.
The third leg of the social change tool is community organizing. It's where a group of people join so they can talk about the problem, how to solve it, what ideas can you make to solve this project. So we are going to have building days, where that's community organizing. We're going to have building days, so we built our native garden with other people, public.
Well, like before, the community organizing part of the building days are like getting together and meeting and planning out, and then the next step is actually building the gardens.
And you can also tell people like by social media, like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
The last step of the stool, and it's mostly the most, it's the most common last step of your project. After you've accumulated all your money, your people who are interested, the people who are going to help you, and ideas, you now need to get into action, and you need to act upon your problem to solve it. This is addressing like immediate issues. It's not going to your local government office and telling them that you want a new law. It's more of like going out there and picking up trash. That's direct service. And there's some projects that are only direct service, but to make them a complete social change that just changes the structure of society, you need all 4 steps. So this is only one of the steps.
So right now we're going to do an activity.
Yeah. So now that you know what are the 4 steps to making a project, you now need to like reflect back on the ideas that you put up there, and we want you to plan out your next project using the 4 steps. We have stools. We have printed out stools. I don't know if you have them there. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, we're gonna hand them out, and it could be markers too, and you can use crayons. You can either draw or write your ideas, and basically we want you to just organize your ideas, whether it's a past project that you have done reflecting upon that project, or a new project you want to start.
Can I ask,
Yeah?
should we do a gallery walk?
Yeah, you can totally walk around and look at other people's ideas if you don't have ideas that you totally want to act on. You can work in partners or by yourself. So we're gonna just talk about the ideas that we have or past ideas. So what's something that you guys or that you want to share?
It wasn't one of the groups I put up, but I'm gonna choose illegal drugs. So, should I write down here?
You just write down how you would get the collective to part for your project. Well, basically just come up with like a solution first. How would you solve illegal drugs? And once you have that project in mind, start trying.
Okay.
Max, you can do a lot of model projects as well to expand it to get philanthropy and community organizations.
Yeah, I got you. Like that.
That's what you have a plan. And for every plant I buy, one is for me. You can set that up in What's your project?
You guys have like designs for your garden and processing how big they're gonna be, what plants and everything.
Yeah, we're gonna do 2x1 meters, and they're gonna be raised gardens made out of bricks. They're
So
gonna
you
be
mean by
kind
raised
of
gardens? So
like it's like in a planter box so that invasive species don't get to it. And the plants are gonna be like lavender, succulent.
Just native plants from Halifax.
Yeah.
You guys wanna do native?
About, like maybe it depends how many fit in that area and how many we can get sponsored.
And how much do you think they're gonna cost? Have you thought of that yet?
We're figuring out prices. We had the prices for wood and they were way too expensive, and we're trying to figure out the price for each brick. I'd say each brick is 1.5 pesos, so it's very cheap. But then you need like
You need a lot of
Plants,
plants.
all the plants are.
And then you need soil and you need.
yeah, soil, you need plants.
The philanthropy for our project was in like doing shows.
Yes, hopefully we can get that done.
Yeah, because they said we could, so I'm like,
Wait, so
huh?
so philanthropy was the.
It was probably like showing kids in lower school.
Oh right, wait. Oh yeah, so wait, so was philanthropy like getting fundraising? Yeah, okay. Philanthropy would be more like raising a bake sale for to get money.
Yeah, but because the point of us showing the stuff is so we can go, would that be?
No,
In the
because
back,
that's
you
more
can
like,
find the definitions of
no, because that would be
your organization.
And then just, and then them donating would be.
no, because that's philanthropy money.
Does that have to be, is it the donations?
So we're advocacy, does that have to be made in the community agreement?
Community resources like close and structure.
Like social media spreading the word. Yeah.
Just to promote it?
It says like you can say try to get donations from company. Now the definitions of each one are on the back in case you have any questions. In case you have any questions about what we did today. Yeah, that's
Their website. That's their website. You should go check it out. Pictures and all of them.
wait. sections.
Making.
No, because that has a different purpose. The objective in the water bottle project is actually building the bottle. Because after you've done filling the bottle, it's like something really actually. Yeah, totally. If anybody wants to share their idea at the end, so
Yeah, no,
we
but I
can
mean
all
like
get
for a
inspired.
project time.
How much time do we have?
Like 10 more minutes and then
Take your time.
just take
If you want to build our
Sacarlo de 5 horas.
Two.
Posters, public announcements.
Yeah, that, but the public.
And people to support
Yeah,
it.
we put the public announcements and advocacy.
I'm doing the deceleration.
We did do one, so then what would
I
advocacy
don't know, yeah, I guess advocacy would be like, going around
teaching kids about
school
like
and,
natural
like,
saying
I
the project
think
and
it
like
Yeah, but then what is community organizing? That's basically what we did.
like promote programs,
Oh, wait,
organizing project,
Yeah, but that's what we did.
and then write that.
But we did it in
There's
advocacy.
crayons, guys, if you want to like draw something, be more
Well, let's say
visual.
like that you went around to the Flag Assembly or something, and you talked to kids about your project.
Yeah, but since we're gonna put that in paper, it's fine.
The active process of forming the active process.
Hey Carly, after you finish, can you explain more about the meeting started?
Yes, I'll go more.
Yeah, because like advocacy is just like the initial.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
This is pretty much both.
It's like very similar, because you basically they're active.
Probably not my drawing.
So the direct side is making the bench. Making it perfect.
How hard is it? So get rid of it altogether. With students?
You need more paper? Yes.
considering filming it. Move yourself over there.
Do you go tomorrow, you said, or today? When we get back. Yeah. Are you indoors or are you in?
It's an apartment,
One of these kids on But life is like a ball.
You guys can make your planter boxes out of the plastic bottles.
like make plastic, like bricks.
Are you what we're doing?
There's plenty of plastic bottles in the world.
20 billion, it's just like 20 billion.
It's an idea.
20 billion a year.
And then instead of filling them up with dirt, you can fill them up with like wrappers,
We were
potato chips and things like that.
Yeah, we made benches, and so we filled them up with dirt, and then someone stole our dirt, and then filled it with plastic.
Yeah, you know, rolled up chip bags, wrappers and things like that.
Is anybody done?
Jackson, I'm done, but I'm just...
2 more minutes. I mean,
You can start when you can take that home and yeah, you can take it home.
don't worry, I just want to finish that.
Tomorrow, Barry.
Tomorrow. And where do you live?
That way your bricks will be free though.
Yeah.
A little more dirty, but also greener.
Or then you could like cover it with like a shell or something.
And then what do you use?
Or you could pour like paper mache on it.
Yeah, probably.
You can pour like
Some kind of mortar.
You can pour like paper mache on
They
it.
would put a string on it, they would attach it, and then put like somewhere.
Like paper mache, just put like a bunch of paper mache pieces. Will that melt?
But, yeah, in the rain, so we got wet, that would fall apart.
Yeah, like some, it's
Then
like
more
it's like
fast.
cement.
But there's also like ecos.
Then you get more.
Yeah.
You got mud and stuff like that. But you would want something that would last, obviously.
We want it to last like a couple of weeks. Like that.
Technically, plastic is biodegradable. It does. Just think, in 450 years, everything it's done now means nothing.
Yeah, but then like it'll keep going, so it's like.
Okay,
Unless everything.
If you want to share what is
But
your
if you
favorite,
stop now,
please
400
raise your
years.
hand.
is everybody almost done or some? Yeah.
Almost. We're done.
Okay, well, we have to move on, and you guys are gonna take these home, so you can look at these at home if you want to. So does anybody want to share their ideas so we can all get inspired? Okay. Miss Natalie and then Maru.
Okay. My idea, is that I can't stand single-use paper cup mugs with the plastic lids. It drives me nuts. And I watched a really good TED Talk a while ago about the stats on single-use Starbucks mugs, which is, Starbucks is everywhere in the world these days, and everyone wants that Starbucks symbol in their hand. So on campus we have 2 cafeterias, but one has an espresso machine, and staff and students can get a hot drink, and it's in a paper cup with a plastic lid. and it drives me nuts. So what I would love to see, because we have paper, we have reusable plates and forks and everything except for mugs. We even have reusable cups, but that's just the mug piece. So the last thing to make our campus and eating on campus not wasteful is to get these mugs. So I'm thinking if we can get those unbreakable camping plastic mugs, still having a handle on them. So we need to the philanthropy to get these mugs, so we need to find money to buy the mugs. Is this right? Are you folks? Yeah? Then we need to get advocacy, so we have a green committee, so maybe getting the green committee on board or the parent association on board, staff meeting, we have a bulletin. We probably want to spread the word that this change is going to happen and get support from staff and students. Maybe share the TED Talk, which is really powerful, and show some stats maybe on campus about paper cup waste around the world, and it is a problem. Community organizing, get the Green Committee, get the Cafeteria Committee involved, get the Purchasing Committee involved, and then the direct service would be purchasing these mugs and just starting to put them in place. And we were thinking also maybe every staff member would get one with their name on it. And then instead of getting t-shirts every year, you get a mug. And then you wouldn't see a staff member going around and purchasing those single-use.
I'm thinking the direct service isn't so much like really, but I mean it's hard for a project like that, so an idea would be like going around school like the trash audit, seeing how many paper cups you can actually see there. That would be more direct service. Because it's more of like hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
So just collecting the number of paper cups.
Yeah, that would be direct service.
Okay, so I've never like focused in this issue, in this like global issue before, so I saw it posted around and I thought it was interesting, and it's illegal drug use. This issue applies more like to older people, like 12th graders or even college students, and I think it's a very big problem because there is like a lot of consumption of marijuana, not in school but outside school, and people don't really know that everything that's happening in Mexico, it's happening in Mexico and in other parts of the world, like the drug war, is because of people's consumption. So it's like my project idea is sort of like an awareness, like saying to, like telling students in college, like making meetings, like using social media and like as advocacy, to tell students that by them smoking marijuana, they're creating the drug war, like being very dramatic with it. And maybe that, I mean, I feel like that's a huge problem and people are like, oh, it's only like one a week, it doesn't matter. But I mean, it makes me very angry that it's not good for their health. So you can also like search in philanthropy for sponsors by like health companies, as well as school board support and government organization, because they like all these big names care about this. So that's basically the idea. And then community organizing, like maybe planning like talks and bringing experts in, and I mean just awareness and that the drug war is caused by consumption.
And direct service, what we do, sort of like a march or a rally or something like that?
Yeah, like probably creating like a high school group, like in charge of their
Anybody else want to share their idea? Yeah?
This is the description of my project, you know. I think it doesn't have a title yet, because I couldn't come up with a good title, but, you know, many schools in my country, Honduras doesn't, and not only in my country, in many parts of the world, doesn't have the proper conditions to receive a good education. It's not fair for these things to happen in our society. Our objective is raise money to buy materials in order to build classrooms in low-resources schools, especially in the rural areas, or the rural areas. And this is our social action, you know. This is how we do it. And social action is when we take steps to change the world. These are the bases. In every project, they have to be present these 4 bases. Advocacy, you know, philanthropy. In this step, we are raising awareness. That's what we do first, raise awareness to all the people and to all the community. At the same time, in order to have support, we have to raise awareness among our community. Using social media and local media such as television, newspaper, and radio, local radio. Philanthropy. In this step, we use raising awareness. We raise awareness, and at the same time, we collect funds for our project. making many activities such as bake sales and selling t-shirts. That might be a good example because you're raising awareness at the same time you're making funds. In community organizing, and this is the part when it's one of the parts that we like most in our college. When we bring all the community, all the people together to work together in order to help spend the project. And the direct service. And this is the part where we take action. This is the part where we go to the communities and we build the schools. We help build the schools, and that's the part about education for all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I got a request. Does somebody else want to present? No. Oh. Well, any questions? Well, I got a request to present more about our project, like what we did. And on the back of your paper, we have our website, which is a little bit of information about us and about our project, and we'll likely put more stuff on there. But basically, like, I don't know if you have any questions about our project or about anything, because I really don't know what to say about it.
No, about your project and like what's the difference between a regular garden and a native garden?
Well, we're trying to educate kids to be more aware of like how native gardens, because like there's a lot of biodiversity loss in Mexico and even in like cities because there's invasive species, and it's really important to have native species because it just brings the biodiversity back, and animals like benefit from it, and they also conserve a lot of water since we live in a dry area. So we have a water problem in Guadalajara, so we want to try to stop that problem using native plants.
Okay, girls, what about the maintenance of these gardens? Who's gonna take care of them? Okay, they're beautiful at first, I know, but somebody else, has to take care of them.
Yes.
Who's gonna do it?
We were thinking like we are doing like an sponsor a garden thing, and maybe one of the things that you can sponsor is like a gardener visit, and you just basically sponsor you pay for somebody to go over there and check up and replace any plants that are dead, and watering. We do get a lot of, like, we get rain throughout the whole year, like in various different times, and we would check up on the plants in the first year many different times, and then as the time goes by, less and less because the plants become more independent on their own. But we would make sure to organize something to go check up on the plants and replace any dead plants.
Yeah, ma'am.
An idea would be that, like, to make the people that run in the track in that place to adopt a portion because they're gonna be there regularly. So
Yeah, I can offer them to.
Congratulations, because this is not only a great project, these are the steps that every social issue needs. So thank you for sharing this with us, and we can improve our project to all these 4 steps.
Thank you. We really do hope that you take it back.
Thank you. No more comments or questions?
Questions, comments, concerns, anything? Okay. Well, there's 2 more minutes. I just want to say that I really hope that in the future, if you don't do the project that's on your paper, I hope that you use this stool to organize your ideas for the future project, because it's just a really simple way to get your ideas down and to make sure that it's a social change project.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for coming.